Miss Jenna Lyons. And I think even in the show, they say that like you can't just call her Jenna. Like whenever they're talking about her, they say Jenna Lyons, which is
It's so
pretty
true. It's
fun.
so weird.
Yeah. So I think she's most well known for being the director and president of J. Crew from 2010 to 2017. So she has like quite an impressive resume there. She was there for like I want to say like 27 years. Like it was
Wow.
basically her first job out of Parsons that
Mm.
she went to for school, and then she started as like I think an assistant.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's
an
what she said to
assistant
me.
menswear designer.
Wow.
And then by 2008 she was creative director, and then by 2020
Damn.
she was president. Um, she seemed like a
Incredible.
very busy lady. Yes, she
Yeah.
said she had like three assistants.
Oh my God.
I just like I
Damn.
can't not think of The Devil Wears Prada, but
Right? Oh my God. That's amazing. I hope that she was nicer than the Devil Wears Prada.
I hope so. I hope so
Slinging totes
too.
everywhere.
Such a good movie. I should go
It's such a good
rewatch.
movie. Oh my God, it's so good.
Yeah, she was known as the woman who dresses America. And I think that was mainly
Oh.
because Michelle Obama wore a lot of J.
Mm.
Crew on like the campaign trail, but like that she had bought herself. And then I think
Hmm.
that became really popular when she said on the Tonight Show that she was just wearing like J. Crew that she had bought
Yeah.
online. And this was kind of like in contrast to all of the
Mm.
other kind of
Previous.
previous
Kind of like,
people who were like in
yeah.
like thousands of dollars of
Hmm.
clothing and everything. So she was more kind of like the common person.
Yeah.
And then like her and her daughters also wore J. Crew at like the inauguration. So
Oh, that's
that's
cute. I didn't know
probably where
that.
that came from, right?
Yeah, I love that. That's amazing.
Yeah, really cute. And then do you know what fashion trends that she quote unquote practically invented?
Ooh, oh gosh. Eh, button down shirts with slouchy jeans. Is that a trend? Wide rimmed glasses?
That's a pretty good guess.
Those are my guesses.
So apparently the high-low aesthetic, which I don't think is super in
Oh,
style anymore, but was like very in style.
like the skirts or
Yeah, like
like,
the
oh,
high and then it goes into a longer skirt. I
oh,
feel like that
interesting.
was very popular in like the peplum, like
Yes.
clubbing,
Oh, yes.
just like
Oh,
chunky belt era.
a
That's what it
dark
makes me think
time,
of.
a dark time for us all.
Yeah, but also mixing khakis and sparkles.
Oh, I love that.
And then like
Love that.
t-shirts and statement necklaces.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense because those J. Crew statement necklaces, like I never had one, but I coveted them. Like I wanted one so badly. They looked so good. They were so cool.
And she actually wore a t-shirt and statement necklace to the Met Gala.
Oh,
Show because she
cool.
was invited to the Met Gala, and
Oh,
that's how.
just casual, as you do.
Yeah, so obviously she's just very accomplished in her
Yes.
business. But I think something that we started to learn on the show, it was that she had like a really difficult background. Like
Mm.
growing up was really hard. We talked about this a little bit on the last episode, but she started to share on, I believe, episode 2 that she was born with a rare genetic disorder. I don't even know if I want to try to pronounce this.
Okay.
Incontinentia pigmenta. I don't know. I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
that sounds pretty good.
I'm so sorry if that's not right. But that yeah, it impairs your like hair, skin, and teeth.
Hmm.
And while she did talk about it a little bit on the episode, she goes into it in a lot more detail on like some interviews that she's done, which first is
Hmm.
just like I think that is like really, really like brave and like vulnerable of her. And I'm glad that she does that because I think like it gives us a little bit more glimpse into who she is. And I'm sure it just helps other people who are struggling with anything to be like, wow, like look what she can do, like it's such like a
Hmm.
nice role model. So I think it's nice that she puts that out there. But yeah, I'll share a little bit about what I learned here because it was like quite
Yeah.
crazy. So she says that her teeth are fake as well as her hair. It's like a hat kind of like you can take it off. As well as her eyelashes because she didn't really have any
Hmm.
eyelashes or eyebrows. That's actually why she started her eyelash company, which is called
Mm.
Love Scene, because she wasn't able to get like eyelash extensions because she didn't even have long enough eyelashes to kind of like hook onto. And
Wow.
actually, yeah, the woman that she started the company with was the makeup artist who did her makeup when she was on the Oprah show like 15 years ago.
Oh my
She had put
God.
on like fake eyelashes for her, and then they ended up
Yeah.
starting this company together.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's so
Man,
it's so crazy.
that's just funny, mainly because Oprah also comes up in one of the people that I'm doing later. So
Oh,
interesting. It's like, look
interesting.
at Oprah, an honorary housewife.
Oh yes, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But yes, so she actually until 10th grade, she only had about like 13 very small teeth, and she
Wow.
had like big gaps in her mouth. She had veneers bonded on and like in 10th grade, but
Hmm.
they were done really poorly. So she said the teeth has been like the hardest struggle for her
Yeah.
because at the time she like couldn't afford like a good enough dentist. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I'm getting a call. Let's just turn that off. Yeah, so she couldn't afford a good enough dentist. And then basically when
Mhm.
she got to New York, she went to a doctor and they were like, your teeth are failing. Like they're going to fall out of
Wow.
your mouth. Like you can
Damn.
either get dentures, or you can have like a massive reconstruction with implants. But there was like problems with dentures because like her face wouldn't be able to hold itself up, kind of.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like really brutal. And
Yeah.
then she's had like 14 oral surgeries to basically be able to support these implants because like for example like her nose was collapsing because there's like a lack of bone. She had to have like her sinuses raised, which like I don't even know what that means, but it sounds really difficult.
Yeah.
um and she said she basically could have bought like a house with the money that it's cost her to do all of this.
Damn.
So yeah, it's like really crazy. And she didn't even know that she had really this disease
Yeah.
because her mom also, which we learned on the show, had like pretty severe Asperger's.
Mhm.
So she, struggled with kind of like human connection and like empathy. So her mom wouldn't really like talk much about it. She would just kind of be like,
Mm.
well, why do you care what you look like? Like, I think you're
Right.
beautiful. Like, it's
Right.
fine.
Okay.
So
Oh,
just like,
yeah.
yeah, just so many layers of complexity that I can't even imagine how someone would
Hmm.
kind of like maneuver their way through that. And then
Yeah.
just to see where she is now, it's like,
And it's hard enough to kind of like go through like grade 10 or like high school or any of that, like just as a person that doesn't have the, like this disorder or whatever it technically counts as. So I can only imagine how difficult it is to like be like experiencing this and like not really knowing what's going on and kind of like just like going through it and not having the like funds to be able to like rectify it or whatever. That's
yeah,
crazy.
but that's it. Like each
Wow.
one of these things on their own, I feel like is so devastating and like so
Yeah.
difficult to navigate. And like the fact that she's, overcome like both of those things essentially,
Hmm.
is like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's really something. And like, I don't know if that was like a known thing about her before. Like, I wonder if that's something she had always kind of shared,
Yeah.
or we're kind of getting a little bit more of a glimpse in. It did kind of make me think back though to this most recent episode where the girls are all really mad at her because she left Erin's
Mm.
house to go sleep at her own house in the Hamptons because she like had a call early in the morning. And it's like,
Hmm.
like she had just told this story essentially that her mom had Asperger's and her
Mm.
mom was like colder to her, and like they're like, oh wow, we see like she can be a little bit cold and
Right.
like a
Now
little
we're
bit aloof in that
understanding.
way. And like
Yeah.
they were trying to understand why. And she said that she like struggles with friendships because she's never seen it like modeled. And I
Mm.
was just kind of surprised at like how rude the girls were to her that she had gone home. And it's like,
Yeah.
just knowing all of these things, like you'd think you'd cut her a little bit of slack. Like she had come out and said she was worried about, this kind of trip. And I don't know, it's not like
Yeah.
she left because she's like, oh my God, I don't like your accommodations. Like she's probably also
Right.
just kind of uncomfortable and like,
Yeah. Well, and
you
she had a call at like 6:30 and she was like, "Well, the best way for me to like be able to kind of go about like having a good night's sleep and whatnot is like for me to just remove myself from the situation as opposed to being like, "Hey guys, I have a call at 6:30, so everybody has to go to bed right now and be
yeah,
quiet."
no,
Like,
for sure. Like
come
the
on.
call in and of itself, I think should have been enough. But I just like I thought it was like extra kind of like
Yeah.
really just like out of tune and out of touch for the girls, especially Erin. Like she was like, well, apparently you don't like anything about my house, so like bye. And
Apparently
then
my
yeah,
house is garbage.
yeah, it's like that's clearly not
That's like
like
the last thing that she
Jesus.
would be saying. Yeah, exactly. It's funny too because it makes me think about Teddy Mellencamp in Real Housewives of Beverly Hills when Erica didn't stay over at her beach house.
Oh yeah.
Erica like went to like go to like another like a hotel or whatever because well she didn't want to stay. She was having feminine problems and she didn't want to
Oh
stay
shit.
at Teddy's house. And like all the girls were like so insulted that like, you know, she would possibly want to leave. And like, it's just, unfortunately, you know, we're all going through different stuff, right? Like, it's not
I
that big
know.
of a deal. It's not that deep.
No, and also it's like, yeah, it's basically like a housewife rite of passage. Someone's
Yeah.
gonna leave someone else's house
Exactly.
in one form or another.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so we also know that she used to be married.
Mm.
Her ex-husband was like an artist, and at the time of their divorce, he was a stay-at-home dad.
Mm.
And they had a son in 2006. We know she was outed in 2011 by like a
Mm.
newspaper, which was the same time that she was going through her divorce. And
Mm.
as for net worth, it says that it's between 1 and 5 million. So possibly under
Cool.
Bryn, possibly above
Yeah.
Bryn.
Yeah.
But her loft that she bought in 2013 was worth 6 million.
Wow.
Um, I'm gonna go on a limb and say it's like higher
Oh, you think
because of
so?
like
Because of all the
everything that,
decorations and stuff that she's done.
yeah, just her time
Mhm.
at J. Crew. Like I have to imagine
Yeah.
that that's kind of like brought her like probably to like the highest wealth in
Right. In
the
this
women.
past. Yeah.
Um, and then she also hosted a design show on HBO Max called Stylish.
Oh, cool.
And
Lovely.
yeah, and it was apparently around the time of like, because I think after she left J. Crew, she kind of like went
Was searching.
like, well, she just kind of like went out of the public eye for a little bit, and then
Mhm.
she came back, and the show apparently covers her launching the eyelash company and also a
Mm.
lifestyle brand, and it's kind of like
Oh,
reality slash
cool.
documentary.
Oh, fun. Oh my God, sounds amazing. I'm gonna go watch that.
Yeah.